I, mine are just a mental creation, not reality. The world, the art is not belonging to someone or some group. But people try to occupy, that is my land, my place, my country, my Singapore, my country, Myanmar. In fact, they are not original existent in nature, but people creation regarding to the convention or law or other situation. If the situation change, convention change, and these creator truth will be changed. Not always true. But people think creator truth as reality, so they have strong attachment about the creator truth. The cake that is I like, and this phone is I, mine. So we have the strong attachment about the creator truth because they do not understand creator truth as creator truth. That are just a concept. For the wisdom practice, we need to understand creator truth as creator truth. At the same time, we should understand what is real truth. So what are the real truth? Can you remember? We call original truth.
Universal truth. Earth, fire.
Yes. There are, but overall view, there are three nature we need to understand. And just now, fire nature, water nature, wind nature, our nature are physical nature. Physical nature is also physical nature of fire, water, wind, earth are not religion, not personal one, not race, not nationality, but they are just a physical nature. We learn about the physics, chemistry, they are universal, they are concerned about any person because these magnesium, electron, protons, physics, chemistry are all concerned regardless of the religion or culture or race or region. On the same way, the physical nature, four elements are real nature, physical nature, that is universal, that is concerned about any individual. So the real nature is just the four elements, four nature. The so-called our body is just a combination of four elements, four nature, fire, water, wind, and earth nature. Can you understand? The body is composition of four nature. Fire nature means does not directly refer to the flame. Fire nature means refer to the quality of hotness or coolness. Earth nature means does not directly refer to the ground, but just the quality of hardness or softness, tightness or looseness. On the same way, wind nature is not directly referred to the blowing, wind blowing, but just the quality of movement or stillness in our body, tightness or looseness, contraction or attraction. They are just the quality of wind nature. On the same way, water nature does not directly refer to the river or ocean, but just the liquidity or cohesiveness in our body. Maybe saliva, mucus, maybe blood, urine, they are just the quality of water nature. So physical nature are just the real nature. They are not religion, they are not personal things. They are just the natural phenomenon, natural process as original truth. And then mental nature is also just the original truth. We need to understand. There are four kinds of mental nature. We need to understand as original truth, real truth. Because mental nature are also truly happening in everyone, regardless of time or situation or religion or culture or region. Maybe consciousness, maybe sound appear, sound contact to your ear sense, to everyone. So your ear sense, maybe that content will be produced, will produce the hearing consciousness. Maybe whatever your religion, whatever your belief, whatever your education, that content will produce the hearing consciousness. And that is nature, natural law. At the moment of contact, sound with the ear sense, it will produce the consciousness. So consciousness, feeling, perception and volition, 4 kinds of mental nature are truly happening in nature, in everyone's mind, regardless of time or situation or religion or culture or region. So original truth is physical nature, that is 4 elements, and mental nature are just now 4 mental qualities: consciousness, feeling, perception and volition. And do you know about the 4 mental nature? Consciousness means knowingness about the object. Hearing consciousness means knowingness about the sound object. Seeing consciousness means knowingness about the visible object. So consciousness means awareness or knowingness about the object. Feeling is you can understand. Maybe sound arising, consciousness will arise. Maybe at the moment of sound rising, you cannot be mindful with right understanding. Maybe judging will happen. We call perception. Maybe your mind will judge. That is noise. That is not pleasant. That is rude. So judgment will happen about the sound arising. So that is also one kind of mental nature. We call perception, or some translate judgment. So that is also one kind of mental nature that is happening in everyone's mind. So at the same time, it will produce another mental state, that is we call feeling. Maybe if your perception judge that is not good, that is rude, honestly, unpleasant feeling can arise. Maybe sometime the behind the room they produce the song, music. For the meditator, our mind judge that is noise, that is not pleasant. But for them, they feel present. So they use their money for listening to that kind of music. So the judgment is different. Pleasant or unpleasant feeling will be different. So feeling is also one kind of mental nature. And then volition also one kind of mental nature. Volition also you know? Volition. Volition means desire or willingness. Sankara. That is translation from Pali language. In original Pali language, also you can learn in the book. So these 4 mental nature are not my mind or your mind. Feeling is just appear and disappear in nature. Now, sound arising, hearing consciousness will arise. It is also appear and disappear. You cannot grasp hearing consciousness as I, mine, or forever. Maybe you can feel the sound is not good, maybe unpleasant feeling can arise, but you cannot grasp that unpleasant feeling is forever or I, mine. So any mental state is just a natural process, natural arising, regarding to the condition, regarding to the respective object. We cannot hold on. They are personal one or forever. So that is wisdom. So meditation practice is just to be mindful about any present moment arising. Sound as sound, pain as pain, smell as smell. You can be mindful. But later, to have the wisdom development, we need to understand they are just impermanent nature, changing nature. They are not personal belonging. They are not I, mine. But we can use the term I, mine. You can use the cake. You can say, if someone say, someone will ask me, who are you? What is your name? I will say so and so. I will use my phone. I will say my country is Myanmar. But for the insight or wisdom, for right understanding, although I say my country, my name, my phone, but I should realize that is not reality, not original existence. But they are just created truth. They are just the concept. They are just the creation. So maybe you can apply this knowledge, this understanding, present situation. Maybe you are feeling pain from the view of created truth. You can see that is my pain, my things. But you cannot press this pain as forever. Maybe 1 week later, 2 weeks later, it can relieve and this energy will change and pain become disappear. So even the good things or bad things cannot rest forever or mine. Any physical nature, mental nature is changing process, impermanent process. So you cannot rest them as forever. So that is wisdom, realizing the true nature of physical and mental process as they are. That is wisdom. So by development of mindfulness and wisdom, you can detach about the created truth. So that means you can stop and you can you can reduce the attachment. And that is I, mine, that is my pain, and that is serious matter. So that means you can detach and you can be liberated from suffering. So the more detachment power will arise, the more mindfulness and the more right understanding. The more mindfulness, the more right understanding about the truth. The more right understanding about the truth, the more detachment power. The more detachment power, the more liberation from attachment about the greater truth and about their suffering. So that is roughly about what is meditation. First, we were trying to realize physical nature, mental nature in the right way. At the beginning, we realized about the physical nature and mental nature. But we do not understand about the third nature. There are three natures we need to understand as the original truth. They are physical nature, mental nature, nibbana nature. Physical nature, mental nature are impermanent nature, changing nature from moment to moment. You cannot press as I, mine. But people do not realize about the truth of impermanent nature. So we have strong attachment about the impermanent nature as I, mine. So we cannot realize about the third nature, that is permanent nature or perfect nature. So maybe you can be right understanding and mindfulness in enough level, the detachment power will arise, and that detachment power will cause the realization about the permanent truth, perfect truth. That is, we call nibbana nature. That is our final goal. So that is roughly about what is our road, our way about the liberation from physical and mental suffering. But that is roughly about the practice, roughly about the way. But more analyzing, we can analyze more detail about what is physical nature. Full nature is just a full basics nature. More analyzing, there are some more physical nature. Maybe sound, smell, taste, color, lights. They are also physical nature. analyzing, we can have the more right understanding. Any question or anyone would like to discuss and share?
Let them ask the question.
I didn't get the fourth mental nature you talked about, the volition.
ငါးခုမို့လားမင်းတဲ့
Nande ha, deku bo. Deku da
ခန္ဓာ၅ပါးလေ
ဟုတ်တယ်ခန္ဓာ၅ပါးဆိုတာကယူဘကနာနဲ့ဆိုတာတတိလေးပါးကိုတစ်ခုဒီပေါင်းမှာဆိုယူဘကနာ
အော်ဒီပါခွတ်လိုက်တော့အဲ့မှာ
ဟာ၄ပါးဆိုခန္ဓာ၅ပါးပေါ့ခန္ဓာ၅ပါးအနေနဲ့ပြောရင်တော့5 brigade
Four mental nature.
four mental what do you mean is
I don't
Consciousness.
understand
consciousness
feeling perception
perception fire volition
What is volition?
volition
volition.
you know volition
As in
VOLITION
Okay.
you know the meaning of volition
No, I don't.
no
Your will power.
Will.
Yes, it's like the free will.
willingness
On my own accord.
huh?
Doing something, action based on.
would like to do something. And later, if more analyzing, that volition became the karma. Negative volition will become the bad karma, and positive volition will become the good karma. How do you say? Just now I say about the three mental impurities: greedy mind, angry mind, ignorance mind. They are negative volition. If you have the greedy mind, how do you say? You want maybe if you have the greedy mind about the pizza, you want to eat more and more. You cannot control about the eating. And that means willingness or desire to do something. If you have angry mind about someone, you want to destroy or you want to
volitionဆိုတာသူ infringement ပေါ့နော် something
now now maybe you consider just now the music is happening. If your perception judge that music is not good, maybe you have the desire to stop it or obviously to remove it, to destroy it.
It's like action. It's
And I like the desire, motivation.
Violation.
Say so.
violation volition
Say so lah. Say so that don't know.
volition sorry
Volition. Willingness. Malu so say so that
violation
don't know.
violationဆိုတာတော့
Say so.
Say so that don't know. Thinkara khana. VOLITION. Volition means desire or willingness. That is also one kind of mental nature. One kind of
power
desire can be positive or negative. If you have the volition is negative, it will cause bad karma and it will cause bad consequences. Maybe if you want to donate, if you want to help others, that is positive volition, positive willingness. So it will cause good karma and it will cause good consequences.
want to do something
That is roughly I discussed. More analyzing, also consciousness can be classified into 6. Maybe seeing consciousness, hearing consciousness, smelling consciousness, tasting consciousness, touching consciousness, thinking consciousness. So 6 kinds of consciousness we can classify. Volition also we can classify positive volition, negative volition. Greedy mind, angry mind, ignorant mind are negative volition. Opposite is positive volition. Maybe non-greed, non-anger, non-ignorance are positive mind. Non-greed mean generosity mind. And non-anger means loving kindness mind, compassionate mind. Non-ignorance mind means right understanding mind or realizing mind. So that is now today I discuss this roughly or briefly. You say more analyzing, you can learn. The main understanding in the practice is just to understand physical nature as physical nature. We should not think physical nature as I, mine, or personal one. Physical nature are ever-changing nature. You cannot remain as the same one, same thing along the timeline. That is a right understanding. Maybe you will see your face every day in the mirror. From the view of creator truth, from the view of illusion concept, you will see every day you will see the same face. But from the view of original truth, real nature, it is not the same face. Every moment is the changing of four elements, four nature, fire, water, wind, earth. So you are growing old from moment to moment. If the same energy or same thing is continuing along that timeline, we should be staying throughout our life. But it is not correct. For the wisdom, we need to understand every moment is changing. Now you will say the pain is remaining there for the body, but it is not the same one along the timeline. So it is changing from moment to moment. So maybe today you are feeling pain, but tomorrow you become relief, because every moment is changing. So changing nature is not personal one. They are just a conditioning nature. How do you say? Not personal one. Because the conditions are also supporting these conditions to be changed. On the same way, mundane nature is also like that. Generally, people think throughout our life, one single mind is existing in our body and in our brain. But it is not like that. If the same mind is existing in our body or in our brain, maybe in childhood you want to play the toy, you want to play with your toy. Mind is also changing, not permanent one, not the same one along the timeline. Feelings are also changing, appearing and disappearing. Consciousness are also rising and changing, appearing and disappearing from moment to moment regarding to the object. So whether physical nature or mundane nature, we cannot grasp. That is forever or that is same one. We cannot grasp. Because every moment is renewing and changing, appearing and disappearing. Regarding to their respective condition. So that is wisdom. Although you can be mindful about the pain, but we need to realize that is not the same pain, not the personal one. Every moment is changing nature. So you can detach and you will not take serious about the pain. So that means you will not suffer too much about the pain. So meditation is not just for sitting time. You can apply it in any way, any time, any situation. So you can have less attachment and less serious about the situation. So that means the more freedom from worries. So it is okay for meditate 10 minutes. So we will apply this knowledge. So you choose your posture. will develop mindfulness by using the breathing. Mindfulness means attentive awareness at the present moment. What is happening at the present moment? In fact, there can be physical and mental arising at every present moment. Even now, sound is contacting to your ear sense. The breathing air is also touching to your opening of the nostril. So touching is happening at the opening of your nostril. At the same time, your hand is touching to each other. That is also touching. That is happening now. Now your body weight is pressing down on the ground. So a lot of contact, a lot of touching are happening in our body. But depending on your mental choice, mental focusing, the present object or present meditation object appear. Now our mind choose the breathing as meditation objects. So depending on our choice, breathing will become the meditation object, mindfulness object. Meditation is not just focusing on something, not just noting one object, but using the noting or using the something or some object. You are trying to develop mindfulness and right understanding about the truth. The truth is not something, not someone, not personal, but ever-changing nature, ever-new impermanent nature, appearing and disappearing nature of physical and mental process. Caused by past ignorance and attachment. The present result, present happening is just the result of past action, past attachment, and past ignorance. Not developing the breathing. We are not developing the four elements. But using the four elements of breathing, we are trying to develop mindfulness and right understanding regarding to them. We do not reject about the four elements, and we do not attach about the four elements. But we were trying to develop mindfulness and right understanding about impermanent nature, regarding to the full elements, or by using the greater truth. Something, someone, I, mine, sometimes, some way, some walk, something good or bad, we understand are just greater or relative truth. Greater truth or relative truth are just a mental creation or concept that are not real. What is good or bad we understand are also just a relative truth or greater truth. Spicy food will be good for the Thailand people and Myanmar people. The spicy food will be not good for most of the Westerners. Why? People perceive differently on the same taste, on the same object. Because they have a different perception, different judgment regarding to their past experience, past knowledge, past environment. So past environment, past knowledge, past education, past environment will create a different perception, different judgment, and different decision, different liking and disliking. So what we like or dislike is just our perception, just the creation of our perception or mental creation. In fact, physical nature or mental nature is just a nature, just a natural process. They are neither good nor bad. But depending on the creation of perception, good thing or bad thing appear in our perception. Sound is just a physical nature, that are impermanent nature, appearing and disappearing from moment to moment. Now we can hear there's some music or some sound from outside. Why they come and sing and listen to the sound? Because they like it. Their perception like it. Because their perception judge these are pleasant sounds. But here some meditators judge these sounds are noise or disturbance. Because our attention is not a sound. Our attention is to be mindful on a specific object. So our mind judge, our perception judge. The sound is noise or disturbance. Trying to realize mental nature, mental process, and their function, their creation in the environment. And then trying to detach and trying to realize they are not personal one. They are just natural process, natural function. mindful with detachment. Be mindful with understanding about greater truth as greater truth, and original truth as original truth. Original truth is not something, not someone, not the same thing that is remaining along the timeline, but ever new impermanent nature, ever changing nature, of full elements, full nature, fire, water, wind, and earth nature. You can be mindful about the pain, about the feeling, about the hardness, softness in your body. But we should realize they are not the same one, they are not the same thing, they are not the same pain, they are not the same feeling that is remaining down the timeline. But they are constantly appearing and disappearing nature, rising and ceasing nature from moment to moment, depending on the condition. Be mindful without taking serious. The ignorance, the attachment, and serious mind are related. If we cannot understand about the truth, about the real nature, the ignorance about I, my will appear. The ignorance about I, my as reality will cause strong attachment. Strong attachment will cause taking serious about the object, about the job, about any issue. So we cannot be peaceful, we cannot tranquil, we cannot calm down in any situation. We are running, we are always urgency, we are always important about the job, about the things, about the pleasure, about the problem. Long time, short time is also greater truth. If our perception judge situation is hard, difficult, boring, time appear to be long in our perception. But if our perception judge situation is interesting or beneficial, time appear to be short. If we will see the same movie together, but depending on different perception, you will think that movie is long or short. If our mind judge the situation is enjoyable or interesting, time appear to be short. But if our perception judge situation is hard or difficult, time appear to be long. So long time or short time, even the difficulty or easiness, all are just the mental creation or perception regarding to our past experience and knowledge. The present moment happening is just the result of past action and past attachment. The present thinking is just the result of past attachment Present attachment is just the causes. Present attachment will be the causes of future thinking, future thought, future feeling. If you have the attachment about your job, thinking about your job will happen again and again. If you have the strong attachment about your children, your family, thinking about your children, your family will arise again and again. The present thinking is just the result of previous attachment. The previous attachment is also just the result of more previous ignorance. The more ignorance, the more attachment, the more emotion, and the more serious about any issue. Be mindful with detachment. Mindfulness, patience, detachment, and right understanding are the way of liberation, or purification, and true happiness. Impatience, ignorance, attachment are original suffering. Be mindful with realization about the ever new impermanent nature. By realizing the ever new impermanent nature of physical and mental energies, try to abandon the idea of the same one, the same thing that is remaining along the timeline as reality. Be patient, be mindful, and detached to any situation, whether you like or dislike, whether you think it is boring or interesting. Understanding about the impermanent nature will be helpful to stop the attachment and wrong understanding about the self or the same one that is remaining in some way. Only 3 minutes left. Be patient and be mindful. Three minutes is just a concept or created. The reality is just a combination of series of 180 seconds. Even the 1 second is also just a greater truth. 1 second is just a series of thousand milliseconds. 1 millisecond is also just a concept of greater truth. 1 millisecond is just a combination of 1,000 microseconds. 1 microsecond is also just a concept of greater truth. 1 microsecond is also just a combination of 1,000 nanoseconds. Try to analyze more and more details and try to realize the smallest, shortest present moment. That is just impermanence. Disappearing a right moment. Right understanding and detachment are related. The more right understanding, the more detachment. Wrong understanding and attachment are related. The more wrong understanding, the more attachment and the more serious about any issue and the more worries. rejoice and get our merits.
Rejoice and get our merits.
May all beings
May all beings
be well, happy and peaceful.
be happy and peaceful.
May all beings
May all beings
be free from all kinds of suffering.
be free from all kinds of suffering.
I write this